Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is episode 2 or game 2, whatever you want to call it, of following Paige Bueckers on her WNBA debut. Obviously, this match didn't end the way that Dallas wanted. Dallas lost by 8. They were at one point was down by 17, so they did make it look respectable. And that fourth quarter was atrocious with only 23 points altogether. But that doesn't really matter. Obviously, you kind of want to see Dallas win because it makes Bueckers look better, but that's not what we're here for. So let's jump into the game for her. At least from everything that we saw with her, you cannot doubt her ball movement. She is great with the handles. Obviously, towards the end of that game, there was a few little things here and there, but I think like the whole team honestly was just not having it. And the craziest stat for her is 37 minutes. She was there for all but 3 minutes in that entire game. That is crazy numbers. I'm pretty sure it's 10-minute quarters in that game. I could be wrong. I mean, I feel like they're 10-minute quarters. So that's literally only 3 minutes. No other person was, well, I guess was it Gabby Williams on Seattle, but no other people on the wings were that close. And obviously they had a lot of issues with like a lot of the starters on the wings really didn't have a lot of good shooting night. So obviously that kind of makes it rough. But Paige herself, she did pretty solid. She ended up with 19 points, number one on the team. I think she had some really good shots. Her jumper is just beautiful. Like, if she gets a lot of those wide open jump shots, there's going to be a lot of trouble. And I think she needs to take more of them too, because I've noticed she does like to have that great ball movement. I mean, she obviously had 8 assists, so there was a good shot. There was a really good shot that she could have almost got a triple double, which it would have been crazy in her second game because she was 2 assists short, and I think she was she 9 or she was only I think she had 9 rebounds, right? I think she had no, she had 5 rebounds. My bad. I was completely. It was the assist go. It's only a double double. I completely saw it. I saw the defensive rebounds and the rebounds, and I was like, oh, maybe you combine. I don't know what I was thinking there. But she also had a positive differential too, which was very good compared to every other starter who did not have that. So she definitely went out there and did her best. I think obviously the poor defense on Dallas's part in the fourth quarter really cemented it being bad. I mean, their offense and defense, because they only did give up 13 points, but they didn't score anything. That second quarter, they got absolutely blown out of the water, and it just ended up never coming back for them. She ended up 50% on the field. Again, not the greatest, but I think her shots were pretty high percentage a lot of the times. She was 1 for 2 on the free point line too, which I think the second one wasn't the greatest. The first one was just absolutely beautiful. And she was pretty good on the free throw line, which being 4 for 5. So I think overall, I mean, her stats are definitely getting better. Obviously, more points, more pretty much everything on this game than the last one. So she's getting into a better position. If you kind of look at like last year, Caitlin Clark, when she came in, she did struggle with the shooting also. And I think she's also going against a very rough team. Seattle has a very good offense. She went against Minnesota, who has a very great defense. So like there was a lot of stuff that she came trying to like do a lot of stuff, because like the problem is when you're down, like when they were down by 17, they were having to do a lot of stuff to make it work. And I think that's what ended up happening, that they ended up just kind of taking way too many wild shots at the very end to lose that game. But I think altogether, I think this was definitely a way better performance. Her defense was also really solid. If you like look around her ball movement, she's always on top of whatever she's guarding. She obviously has a few things here and there that she's still working on there, so I can't say she's perfect on the defense. Like I basically say like her ball movement, I'd say it was like a solid B plus. I think her defense was probably about a B plus also. Her jump shots and stuff like that, I think were in the A's, and I think her shooting in general was probably like a B plus. I think she could have definitely taken more shots compared to a lot of the other people who had like 14, like or double digit shots. She was doing better, if not, way better than some of them, because especially like towards later on, she was just kind of locked down, and she should have been taking those extra shots and going after certain stuff. But again, she's just being a team player, so that works out that way. She likes to have that ball movement, but sometimes that's the difference between being the solid player and being the star. You just got to take those opportunities, and I think she'll get used to it more and more. Obviously, it's only game 2, and unfortunately, the Wings are 0-2. I think this is going to be a lot of the season. I didn't realize how bad the rest of this team is. It's not even that, like, I feel like they're necessarily, like, bad at anything. I think it's just that they don't really have a bench. They have obviously had a way better bench day today, but you had us two starters that had 4 points, and then you had your third starter who is one of their best players only had 8 points, and they were 2 for 14 in the field. That's really bad. And they were 1 for 8 on the 3 point line, and they were taking nonstop 3 pointers at the very end of that game. So like you couldn't do that. They were trying to get that to stick, but like if they were doing a little bit high percentage choices there, I think those 8 points could have disappeared to really making that a chance for an overtime. Because at the very end, they were only about 4 to 5 points away. It ended up being a 8 point win, but it wasn't like that wasn't, it was a little bit of a different story watching it. But yeah, next game is later this week. I think it's Wednesday, so it'll be kind of interesting. They're playing the Lynx again, which is not going to be good, I think, um, for Paige in general, because I think their defense is not really the team to go off on. But I mean, you got to do it at some point. It is, yeah. I mean, I think altogether, I would put this a performance at like an A-minus. I really think it was a solid performance. I don't think it's that star potential. I feel like we could have had a lot more. She would have taken a couple more shots. I think she could have ended up at like 25 to 26 points. I really think she had it there. But honestly, I would be happy with this. If I was a player, obviously number one of the team in pretty much every category, so you can't really be too upset with that, especially for your number one pick that has the least amount of games here. So hopefully the Wings can bring it together, and we'll see how that team goes. But yeah, if you guys like these videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because it's not normally my stuff on this channel. I do a lot of wrestling content, but this is kind of like new for me. I got a couple other WNBA videos coming in the pipeline, some like tier lists and stuff, just to kind of flesh out the channel with a little bit and hopefully bring a little bit of the algorithm towards me. And if you like this stuff, just tell me. I'm really excited to do this. I really want to do the entire season, which is a lot to commit to, because that's 40 videos, if not more, if they make the playoffs, which I don't know. This team doesn't seem like they're right there yet. We still got a long season to go. It's only 2 games down, but there's a lot that needs to change. But until next time, this has been Japan, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.